There have been many messengers from the beginning, but the important thing is the message. What is the message? The message is that God is light. What do we understand about light? Light, for example, when you take two things, you take two sticks, you put them together, you rub them, it causes friction and it causes heat and it produces light. Light is energy, right? So let's look at this in the spiritual sense and then we come back to the natural sense. In the spiritual sense is when you take the spirit of wisdom, for example, and the spirit of understanding, and you put these two potencies together, what happens? This is where he said in the beginning he created the heavens and the earth. So uniting the spirit of wisdom and the spirit of understanding, this is where he manifested the heavens and the earth. So that's in the spiritual sense. Now, in the natural world, we have chemical energies stored inside of us, inside of our temples, right? And these chemical energies, they have potencies. Just like when you look at your brain, it carries two hemispheres, one side over here, one side over here, right? Similarly, I want you to keep the image of the brain in the forefront. Now, think of the image of the ark. On one side of the ark, there's one cherub. On the other side, there's another cherub, right? So what you're seeing with the brain, there are potencies in these chemical energies that are stored, waiting to exhale, waiting to be manifested. Now, what happens when you add heat, add energy, add light? What happens when you bring God into the equation? That heat is going to do what? Divide. It's going to divide. So what is going to happen to the atoms when you bring God in the equation? It's going to strip the electrons from the atoms and you're going to have ions with what? Positive and ions with negative. So what happens? You're going to have positive and negative, and whichever one you're feeding, that one is going to send a message to the mercy seat. And all that electrical energy is going to go out through the rest of your body and it's going to manifest that, whether it be good or evil. You have to know which one of these creatures you're feeding. That is what you're going to manifest. That is what you're going to produce. You're dealing with chemical energy and you're dealing with electrical energy inside here, inside your temple. And guess what? What happens? What happens when you combine fire with water? You see, in English, my question doesn't make any sense, right? But let me speak to the Hebrews for a minute. What happens when you combine Shah with Ma? Or for those who deal with the 19th century Hebrews, for those who deal with the 19th century Hebrew, what happens when you combine Shin with Mem? You know what you get? Heaven, Shamayim, the heavens. So this is one state of heaven that they don't teach you. Why? And we're not denying the existence of the other realms of heavens. Yes, there's a heaven where the birds and the planes fly, with the clouds and so forth. There's another heaven where the lights are, the sun, the moon, the constellations. There's another heaven. And there's a third heaven where the source of all power dwells, the Most High. And there's a fourth heaven where rulership on earth is concerned. But there's a fifth heaven where they don't teach you about. This is where the portal is, where angels of God ascend and descend. This is where you go through meditation to counsel with the angels. Abraham knew it, Isaac knew it, Jacob knew it, Noah knew it. All our forefathers from the beginning, they had the same message. They have dealt with it, they have encountered it, they have touched it, they have placed their hand upon it. But today you guys sit in religions